So, you're a dog owner in Hagerstown, which means you've got access to everything from cool city walks to beautiful scenic trails. And to really enjoy all of it with a happy, well-behaved dog, you've got to find the right training partner. This guide is all about giving you a clear, step-by-step way to find the perfect professional to help you and your pup.
To help you make a really confident decision, we're going to walk through 5 key areas. We'll kick things off with the trainer's core philosophy, then we'll get into their credentials and the different kinds of programs they offer. We'll also break down what training typically costs right here in Hagerstown, give you a list of must-ask questions, and then wrap up with some local rules and resources to really set you up for success.
Okay, first things first, let's talk about the trainer's philosophy. Honestly, before you even look at a single website, you need to understand their basic approach. Why? Because truly effective training always starts with a foundation of trust and respect between you and your dog. You know, the gold standard in modern dog training is something called positive reinforcement. It's actually a pretty simple idea, but it's so powerful. Instead of correcting your dog for what they do wrong, you reward the behavior you want to see. It's a small change in focus that makes a huge difference. It builds an amazing bond and makes learning feel like a fun game for your dog. And that philosophy is just so crucial. Good training is about way more than just sit and stay. It's about safety, right? It's about building good habits that stick for the long haul, and it's also about keeping things friendly with your neighbors. That's why you have to find a trainer who builds your dog's confidence, not one who relies on fear, pain, or intimidation tactics. So, once you've confirmed a trainer is all about positive reinforcement, the next thing you want to look at is their qualifications and the actual types of programs they offer. Now, Maryland doesn't actually require a specific license for dog trainers, so looking for certifications is a great way to check their expertise. For general stuff, like puppy manners, you might look for something like CPD-TK. But if you're dealing with more serious issues like fear or aggression, you'll want to find a certified behavior consultant with a credential like CBCCK. That just means they have more specialized training. Next up, you'll need to pick a training format. Group classes are awesome for teaching your dog to focus on you, even with other dogs and people around, a skill you'll definitely need for a walk through City Park. Private lessons, on the other hand, are perfect for tackling those specific behaviors that happen at home, like jumping on guests or stealing food off the kitchen counter. All right, let's talk money. Understanding the typical costs for training services right here in the Hagerstown area is going to help you plan and budget for your dog's education without any surprises. As you can see, there's a real variety of options. A 6-week group class for puppies or basic obedience is usually the most budget-friendly choice. In-home packages will cost more because you're getting that personalized one-on-one attention. And then board and train programs are the biggest investment since they involve intensive, round-the-clock training for your dog. So if you're just looking for some targeted one-on-one help, a single 60-minute private session in Hagerstown is probably going to be somewhere between $80 and $120. This can be a really great option if you need expert advice on just 1 or 2 specific challenges. Okay, so you found a few trainers that look promising. Now what do? Well, going into that first phone call or consultation with a solid list of questions is probably the best way to make sure you find the perfect fit for you and your dog. Here's a quick checklist for that conversation. You'll definitely want to confirm their philosophy, ask about their certifications, and see if they can create a plan that fits your lifestyle here in Hagerstown. It's also really smart to ask how they track progress, and especially for more serious behavior issues, if they're open to working with your vet. Their answers will tell you a whole lot about their professional style. And finally, let's bring this all back home to Hagerstown. You know, good training isn't just about teaching commands. It's about helping your dog be a great canine citizen. Knowing the local rules and having some great spots to practice makes all the difference. These are pretty much the 3 big rules to keep in mind. Having a dog that walks nicely on a leash makes following that leash law totally stress-free. The rabies vaccination is just part of being a responsible owner. And of course, good training can really help manage any nuisance barking, which keeps both you and your neighbors happy. So once you and your trainer have a plan, where can you go to practice all these new skills in the real world? Well, Hagerstown has some fantastic options that give you different levels of distraction to work with. You could start at City Park, which is perfect for working on polite leash walking when there are some mild distractions around. For safe, off-leash practice, especially for that super important recall command, the dog park at Fairgrounds Park is definitely your best bet. And then, for a real test of focus, the C&O Canal towpath is ideal for practicing around hikers and cyclists. Choosing the right trainer is really just the first step on an incredible journey with your dog. A well-trained dog is more than just obedient. They're a true friend you can share every part of your life with. From a quiet morning at home to a beautiful day exploring everything Hagerstown has to offer. We wish you the very best of luck.